going on, guys? Hornaut606 here, and I'm bringing you another look at another figure from my collection that I picked up recently. This is the Transformers Siege Red Alert from Hasbro, and it is a fantastic figure. It is a mold that we've seen already once before. It is the Sideswipe mold. You also saw it in my previous video of the G2 Sideswipe. It is a great mold. I love this mold. I think it is one of the better Siege molds that has been used so far in the Siege line. And they've used it on Red Alert, and it's a very great looking Red Alert. I love the paint apps and I love the details on the figure. It is an overall great mold. He does come with his gun, and he does come with these detachable siren alarm on his back, which we'll get to a bit later. Obviously, main difference is the color difference, and also his helmet is slightly different compared to Sideswipe, and it's also in red. So having a closer look here, I do love how this figure is clean and it's more compact. You don't see a lot of kibble sticking out, you don't see a lot of car parts once you've seen this robot mode. A lot of great engineering has gone into this, and that's one thing I love about the Siege line. A lot of good engineering has gone into this, and for the price point, it is one of the better figures, one of the better molds that has come out in the Transformers overall Transformers Generations line. You can see there's the battle damage on the lower legs there. I don't really have too many issues with paint. I don't really see any issues really, which is really good. Sometimes that can happen, but it is a relatively clean looking figure. There isn't much sticking out, let's take a look at one of my other Red Alerts from my collection. This is the Transformers Universe Red Alert from Hasbro, and you can see the difference. There's an obvious size difference with the Siege line being smaller, but yeah, this was my original classic Red Alert that I just picked out of my collection for this comparison, and you can see the differences. You can see that we've come quite a long way since when this figure was released, and not that it's a bad figure, it's just things have been done better over the years. It does have a great range of articulation, which I'll show off in just a second, but you can see here it has a lot of just car parts and things sticking out, the doors, the backlights, the front of the car. You can see a lot of it in his robot mode compared to the Siege figure, where it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot more condensed. You don't see a lot of the screws sticking out like you can on the Universe one, but you can see the similarities. It's definitely the same character, the same kind of color scheme, red and white. The head is the wrong color on the Universe one, depending on which version you picked up. If you picked up the Hasbro one, you've got a black head, which is the same, I believe, as the Sideswipe head, which is wrong. But if you picked up the, I think, is it the Takara one, or whatever they were calling it then, it would be a red head. Overall articulation, even though the arm is a kind of a weird joint, mainly because of the transformation. I guess you could say it's kind of like a butterfly joint, but it's not. You can move the arms, rotate the arms. There is an upper arm swivel. You can rotate the hands. He does have double elbow joints. He does have a waist swivel, knee joints. There's a leg swivel there as well, and then I guess you could say he's got a bit of ankle articulation there as well. So the articulation is great. It's not a bad figure. It is, it has been in my collection for some time, and it still holds a place in my collection. It's just that it's like night and day. We have improved so much over the years. The Universe Red Alert does come with his own gun. You can combine it. It is the same gun that came with the Sideswipe and the Sunstreaker, I do believe. So it's in the Universe line. You can combine it to create a bigger blaster gun if you want to, and that's how it was back then. But yeah, you can see the difference. It is definitely night and day. I much prefer the Siege Red Alert, but it doesn't mean I dislike the Universe one. So articulation on the Siege Red Alert is much the same as the Universe. So articulation isn't that much different. His head can rotate, can move upwards and downwards a little bit. Arms can rotate, they can move outwards and inwards. Elbow joints, the hands don't swivel, but they do kind of fold inwards, but that's due to transformation. There is a waist swivel, there is a knee joint, legs can move inwards and outwards, forwards and backwards, and there is, I guess you could say, ankle articulation at the bottom as well. So both figures, you know, you can pull off some pretty, for the more creative people out there, can pull off some really great poses. But I think the Siege line will probably pull it off a little bit better because it just looks a lot better. So let's get into some more comparisons. So here he is compared to the Sideswipe from the same Siege line. You can see this is the same mold, just different color scheme. The head is slightly different with the horns, and the head is red on Red Alert. The battle damage is, there's more on Sideswipe, is on the lower legs and the waist, but on Red Alert it is just on the lower legs. Here is Refractor, and yes, I did pick up 3 of these because it's the only way you can create the camera mode. And here you can see Universe again. You can see the size difference. We have gone down in size, but I think there's a good trade-off. We've got better detail, better engineering. So looking at the vehicle mode, we've seen the vehicle mode in my previous video. It's nothing special, it's exactly the same. The only added addition is the siren, alarm siren at the top, that pegs in at the top. But apart from that, it's just a color scheme that is different. That is the only thing that I noticed that is different. Everything else is exactly the same. Transforms in the exact same way. I'm not big on doing transformations on my videos, that would just take up time. But it is pretty much the same. It's nice. I do like it is very good. It is very clean. It is a very, I guess you could say, Cybertonian look, which is what they're trying to go for, because this was before they arrived to Earth. But it is a very lovely looking vehicle mode, and I'm going to compare it to the G2 Sideswipe because I can't be bothered to transform the other Sideswipe. And you can see the similarities here. It's exactly the same, it's just decked out in a completely different color. So the black and red is the G2 Sideswipe, and the red and white is Red Alert. You can see that in the glass on the G2, you can see through it. It's a different color and got a bit of a pattern there, whereas you can't see through on the Red Alert. It's just complete black on the Red Alert figure. Here he is compared to the Universe Red Alert. You can see the similarities between the two. The same kind of rescue vehicle. That's what Red Alert has, as far as I know, has always been. I think the Siege just looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit better. I don't think I completely transformed the Universe one correctly. You can still see some of the on the door there, the parts haven't connected properly. He is very tough to transform. That is one thing about the Siege Red Alert. His engineering is so much easier to transform and doesn't take very long, but the Universe one, I struggled with that. I mean, there's a lot of steps to transforming him between his vehicle and robot modes. Looking at the back, it does say Alert on the Universe toy. It doesn't say anything on the Siege. At the bottom, it's nice. You can't really make out too much of the robot mode. I guess you can if you know what you're looking for, but I think it's nice and clean at the bottom on both figures, to be honest. But I think that the Siege one just looks a little bit cleaner. It's done a little bit more nicely. There are peg holes on the Siege to plug in weapons as well. You can do that if you so wish. But it's up to you. If you think it's worthwhile picking up, I mean, if you're a Transformers collector, I would say it's worthwhile picking up. It's a great figure. It's great. It's another character to add to the collection. But that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching.